Hey friends, welcome back. This is the JBM Daily Show, and I'm Joe Barlow. This is my daughter Sarah. We've been talking all week about finding your purpose in life, and Sarah, you're doing great, I must say.
Thank you.
In your life, the path you've taken, the things you've accomplished, have been noteworthy, to say the least. I mean, all the things we already marked off and already mentioned. With your photography business, you've been going since you were for the last 11 years. We were talking about your life story, and you came to this point where something started rising up in your heart. You had a successful wedding business here in Chicago, but then something started raising up in your heart that you knew you were supposed to pursue.
Yeah. Well, I had done at this point, I had done photography for about, I would say, 4 or 5 years, and was shooting about, I think, 18 or 19 weddings a year. I was shooting them, some of them I was getting, up to like, almost $8,000 a wedding and stuff like that. So it was really nice as a,
Especially
20,
since you didn't have
21,
any overhead.
Yeah, 21-year-old, 22-year-old, like making just bank, living at home. And just buying everything. But it was really nice for sure. And after about a year or two of doing that, I started teaching internships.
Oh,
and
yeah.
And so I had written it down a while earlier in my whole big chart of all the things that I wanted to do. I had written down so long earlier, and I had forgotten that I wanted to teach internships. And it was weird because God, after I did this internship with Ebert Studios, or it was an internship, I ended up working for them. But after I did that with them, I was like, man, I would love to train my own. I have a lot of work going on now. I have a lot of things coming in. I need help with it. And I didn't really even know that much at all. But it was weird because that desire started rising up in me. And then a girl wrote me that lived pretty, I think she lived in Maryland, or I think it was Maryland. And she wrote and said, hey, I love your work so much. And she named off her other 2 favorites, which were Jessica Clare and David J. She's like, I love you 3 so much. I want to become like you guys. And would it be possible if maybe I could come and intern for you for a little while? And I was like, I mean, okay, I would not put myself in that same category yet, but yeah, for sure.
So that was
and
Kristen?
So yeah, that was Kristen Snyder. Now she's married, but Kristen Morris. But she came and interned for about 6 weeks with us, and she came and stayed at the house with the family, and we took her in. I think I was maybe only 19 or 20, maybe not even 20 yet. Teaching an internship to someone else where I really didn't know much, but Andrew was helping her with her website, and we were just helping her get her business up and running.
Yeah.
And so she then, after that whole time, went and started her own company, and ended up the next year booking, I think, 30 or so weddings in her first year. And so so she
jumped out ahead of you.
Jumped out ahead of me, surpassed me fully.
I love it.
And then in that same year, there was 2 other girls as well that interned for me just a few weeks later after that. And they interned for a couple of weeks as well. And they as well, really, really took off in their businesses. And
so we took these people into our home.
Yeah.
It was always enjoyable.
Yeah, it was so much fun. And so then I went and sat down with a few of my mentors who were, were farther ahead in photography than me, and we were looking over all of our different businesses, and they looked at mine and they were like, Sarah, what is this internship thing that you're doing? And they were like, I was like, oh, it's just no one, they help me, I help them. They're like, but you're not charging for this or anything like that? They're like, what you're training them in is so valuable. They're going and taking off after this, you know? And the exchange is not necessarily, they weren't necessarily working for me. I was always just training them, you know? And so they were like, you really should maybe, open this up and maybe, open this up for more people and start charging. And so I was like, I don't know. I don't know if I can. Like, I don't feel like I'm at that level yet. And then the late spring of the next year, so just a few months after that, I opened it up to 8 people, 2 weeks at a time, so 2 girls at a time, and was just like, okay, I'll just charge $1,000, see what happens. And literally it booked out in a day. And
underpriced.
And so yeah. And so I mean, that was it. Just like this buzz then started it, happening or whatever. And then the next year it was 25 people, and I was like at that point that in between time was when then I like ended up feeling like I was supposed to move to Nashville. And I was feeling like this transition where I was like, okay, I'm not feeling as much like I'm supposed to be doing weddings as much, but I was just feeling that passion stir more for like this music and for a lot of other business areas and stuff, and the things that I'd had in the desires in the past. And so I presented that to you guys. And I already knew the answer. I thought the answer was going to be for sure no, but then like it was like the way I presented it and all that different stuff. You guys were like, actually, I think that's probably what needs to happen. You know?
For me, it was easy because I would just say it this way: we knew that it had to be God, because if Nancy was going to let her firstborn leave home, I mean, without being married or whatever else. Without a job per se, you were stepping out really by faith.
Yep.
And
didn't really know many people down there. I mean, except for family and stuff like that. But
and so we knew for her to have a peace in her heart was absolutely God.
Yeah.
So your path has been very blessed.
Yeah.
It's really been extraordinary.
Yep.
Really been extraordinary because we've seen God's hand, God's fingerprints in all of it. Mm-hmm. And so, but the cool thing is you have cooperated with him. And I think that's, all of us need to do that. We need to cooperate with God as he lays things out in front of us. Don't miss out. One of the things the Lord told me recently, he said, I send desire ahead of time to let you know where my blessing is.
Yeah.
So go for it.
Well, that's the big thing. Like, there were so many different desires where I was just like, I didn't even realize it, but I wrote it down. And I think that's the biggest key.
Yeah.
It's like writing those desires down and then realizing later on that, like, then it comes full circle and you realize what you've had,
Well, this has been an awesome week.
Yeah.
I'm glad you joined me. Why don't we do it again? I think there's so much more to cover.
Yeah.
This thing about finding your purpose in life is just huge.
Yep.
I hope it's a big deal for you. Listen, friends, join us again next week, and let's have Sarah back and talk some more about this amazing path. But listen, God really does have a path for your life. Mm-hmm. And I hope and believe that it's even more impressive than Sarah's. That'd be hard to do. But I honestly believe that if you were to seek God, God would show you the truth about your future. We're praying for you. Come on back next week. God bless you.